Hello guys, it is Hartwigga here, and today we are finally back for episode 9 of the My Team Career Mode. We are here at Canada. We're just going to do some stuff around the facilities. We've got a pretty an alright balance of 200k coming in from bonuses there, an extra 50k from the race. Here we are, currently a very short break here to Canada. We're just probably going to do, I think we're going to go for the sponsor event. And any facilities we look to upgrade, probably really not. I probably want to work on the marketing and personnel next, honestly. But I will buy the chassis, actually. I will buy the chassis quality control. The car feels a bit heavy, and the resource point generation. So we'll buy those two. Now, we'll get the roll dampers as well up and going, and that won't come in for Canada. But this is the order so far. We're the 7th best car on the grid. We're ahead of AlphaTauri and Haas now, so that's good to see. But here we go to qualifying. So here we are on our second lap in Q1. Can we get out? Just a question. Hit the wall on exit. Hit the wall of champions, and across the line, it's going to be P7. I think I saw up the top. Yeah, it is. Good stuff in the end. A good lap. Really took made the most of the track there as I could. Really went. Took all liberties there, but Antoine Hubert just misses out in the end. P17 for him, but P13 at the end of our first lap in Q2. Now this is our Q2 lap. You see, not looking too bad at the moment. Down in P14 now, so we're improving by a bit. I think that's about 4/10 we improved by. And I think that is P9. Yes, it is. Great job. Another Q3 appearance for the team. The two Alphas very, very quick today. You can see there, the Alfa Romeo that is. And Vettel, they're one of the medium tyres, so watch out for him in this race. It is set to be a bit wet throughout the race. Wet and dry, so we'll watch out for that one. But we need to try take the challenge on a Q3. First up, here we go for our second and final run in Q3. The rotation, not too bad there through the second corner here at Canada. Really got to take the most of the track you can there. We do really mount the second curb there. And now the player we usually lose a lot of time just on the exit here, but we get not a bad exit really, so getting the power down. We're about 2.5 tenths up, it looks like, on the Delta. We're currently in at P10, so last year in Q3, just go really wide the exit curb there. A little skittish on there, but anyway, into the hairpin we go. We go really, really deep into the hairpin, but that might actually maximise our exit speed down this straight. So you see, I'll start getting a lot of time. I think that's just like 5 tenths up, something like that. I don't know. I think it is. But down this back straight, I'm not running too high wings today, so it should be alright. Now into the final chicane. Into this final chicane, you can get a little time through here on the lap. We're up by quite a bit, and now what can we get? I think we might be just getting best of the rest. Yes, we do. P7. Great pace in the end.
Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. Are you happy with where you'll be on the grid tomorrow?
For sure. Ahead of L1, actually.
Do you have any comments about this team?
I mean, I pointed out before, didn't I? They've been really, really consistent, and they're so fast in a straight line. So we'll see.
Great. Well, that's everything.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. If you want flat-out racing, you've come to the right place this weekend, as it's full throttle for 59% of this 2.7-mile circuit, peaking at around 210 miles per hour going into the final chicane. But that speed requires discipline, and there are more than a few close walls here just waiting to punish drivers with a heavy right foot. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Lance Stroll, and Verstappen, Skip, Albon, Sainz, and Kevin Magnussen, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Pierre Gasly, and Norris, Ocon, Perez, Antoine Hubert, and Roman Grosjean, Kvyat, Ricciardo, Russell, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
So we're now on the grid here for the Canadian Grand Prix. You see, it's going to start to rain at the back end of this race, so we'll have to try and navigate this soft to medium it looks like, but we will have to do some other strategy, I think, on the wet tyres. Underfield the car, let's go for the Grand Prix. Here we are on the starting grid for the Canadian Grand Prix. The 5 red lights here, Mercedes front row, and away we go. It looks like a pretty good start for the Racing Point. Now, and we actually have a really good start. So we go out the inside of the Racing Point. Yes, we are around the outside now. Can we get to the traction? Yes, we do. We get the grip as well, and that's a brilliant start for us. Up into P4. Ahead of that, a very quick Racing Point to go off pretty well. Leclerc now down in P3. Try to make a move on Bottas. Vettel on the medium tyres in P6. Not a great start for him. The medium's just not gripping in as well off the start. It's the softs. And it looks like Hamilton running away with this race already, but we're probably not going to be able to keep up with the Ferrari of Leclerc in the straight line, especially off that corner where their play is so bad at. But we'll see what we can do. We have to try to keep Perez behind. Stroll behind for as long as we can. And then hopefully try to play our cars right and into the wet period and could we keep a top spot like this, but it'll be very, very difficult. Yellow flags in the middle sector at the hairpin. I don't know what that is for, but here we are down the straight. You can see Perez just in the slipstream, getting little increments at a time, but now a very narrow line into the chicane. We're getting a lot of time. Everyone's taking it pretty tentative through the chicane. And that's the opening lap done. We're in P4. Now, at the end of lap 4, Stroll is going, I think that's Vettel on the outside. Stroll goes to the inside, taps me a little bit. And we're able to concede position that Vettel is really getting a lot of pace now in that Ferrari, very composed. But we keep out of Stroll, and he's going, Alex Albon up the inside. That's a massive launch. I think it's up the inside of nearly 3 people. But then it has no drive. He has no drive, Alexander Albon. And he's out of this race. He's out of the Canadian Grand Prix. And that causes I think it's is it a full course? Yes, it is a full course safety car. So we take the chance to pit now for some medium tyres. We were losing a bit of pace to Stroll on that, and Stroll pits as well. Is that also Vettel that pits? Yes, it is Vettel that pits. Very, very interesting. We actually got hard tyres to go to this period, I think. Vettel's got another set of medium tyres here. So to Stroll. So we're going to go longer into this maybe and use the tyres a bit more aggressively. But you can see lap 12 now. The rain is starting to fall a bit earlier than projected. So It's not really worked out. This medium type of strategy for us. We've got a great exit on Esteban Ocon. Now around the outside of the Frenchman into turn 1. Can we make the move stick? Looks like we can. With that narrow line at Ocon, there's no grip. There's a bit of slipperiness on the track now. He could make it work, but now it looks like we're right behind us. No, no, no. What is that? Is that behind us or is that behind Hubert? It is behind one of us. I think it was AlphaTauri that lost in this. They were struggling. Then take out Verstappen. And now we see Lando Norris goes over the inside of us. Really, really odd from him. But we're in P6. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But we go back up the inside of Lando Norris. Very, very deep. If we can get the power down, we could get the run on him. We're not able to get the power down. We're struggling now for traction on these hard tyres, and we're going to have to come in. We're going to have to come in now. There's no way we can do this. It's just too much out here, too much. But into the pits we go now with Lando Norris as well. And it's going to be a crucial part of the race for us. To determine where we're going to come out here. Onto the intermediates. Here we go. We jump Norris in the pits. Great stop. 2.1 seconds. Fantastic for the team. And you see, later, 8 laps later now. Lap 23, we're in P6. I think a few of the cars ahead are pitting. Sainz and Ocon are pitting. So are we. We're going to pit onto the wet tyres. It's very, very wet out there now. And the Inters aren't giving us the same benefits as as other wet tyres will give us. But Sainz and Ocon pit for intermediates. So 2 laps later, we actually make a great strategy call. Vettel, Ricciardo in P2. And I don't know who that is. I think it might be Gasly potentially in P1. I think he might be out in front, but just late in this race we lose a position to Sainz now. We're losing pace in this car. This car isn't really working well in these very heavy conditions, but Vettel's still in P3. Can we expect him to maybe get a position on someone? I think what we're going to be watching here is Ricciardo in the Renault in P2. I think he might be getting maybe fairly close to P1 potentially, but you see now we're fighting, and you see that's us with Lewis Hamilton and Esteban Ocon right on our backs. A nice scenic shot of us with that new helmet we've rocked for a couple races now. You see on lap 34, Ocon goes around the outside. We go up the inside, a massive lunge. We take him a bit deep, and what can Lewis Hamilton do? Nothing. He must have an issue or something, because he's way down the order now, and Hubert's in P8, so that's really, really good for the team. But we need to try and get Esteban Ocon now into the final chicane on the penultimate lap up the inside. Very tricky. Oh, that's so slow. So slow. We lost probably a good second there, probably, just with that maneuver. But the rear tyre is really overheating now, so it's shot up a little bit, and we're not managing it well. You can see how bad it is. This is why we've been losing so much time to the cars ahead. And yeah, we're all around the track. We're losing so much time here. And Lewis Hamilton's already caught back right up to us. He was 8 seconds behind about this time last lap, and he's already caught up to us. Now, nothing can do for Ocon. We're struggling, and now he's struggling to overtake us. As we see, Ocon, this is just a replay of that before. We go real wide, and we do take him off track there, Ocon. We do. And we started drifting through these corners now. So the rears aren't handling it well. But look, that is Pierre Gasly, who is going to come through in the AlphaTauri to win the Canadian Grand Prix. Ricciardo, so close from a lap. He could have won it. But he's got P2. Vettel, P3. Sainz, P4. Great races for them all. But coming up P5. A poor exit there for us. Ocon up the inside. We're down to P6. Hamilton, can he fight? No, he can't. It's just a drag between Ocon and I. We're going to lunge it. He's going to lunge it too. Who's going to be the daring move? And we make it. And I think we're going to hold this for a great P5 at the Canadian Grand Prix.
Oh no, that is what they all say when they see me pouring some oil. pockets empty again. Better fill it up before I go. Cause I'm loving it, feeling it, touch me and being it. See what I see in it, I'm typical. Messing around with it, mix it up, go with it, fuck with it, flow with it, let it all go. Oh Lord, think you know what I'm like, but you don't fall, you lose control. Bittersweet melody when I dance on your fly. Cause I know what you don't, it is me you adore. How does it feel to breathe when you're dead? They never seen you out of your bed. Cut to the bone, it's broken, I bet. How sad. Oh boy, got so hot I forgot what I should have thought of before. Sure ain't easy for you.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. We all underestimated you, didn't we?
I think we did get a bit lucky with some of the strategy calls, but we put the cars in all the right places today for most of the time, and you saw that the car had real good pace in those changeable conditions to the very end. You can see Antoine was up there with us as well, so good to see him get his first points of his career, I'm fairly sure, up in P8 for him. So double points finish for the first time in Hardwidge Motorsport's history. But do they all underestimate us? The question? No, the team did a great job.
Did you feel comfortable in the wet weather today?
Instance, it felt pretty nice, but from that wet to into period right at the end of the race, difficult.
You had a close battle today, didn't you?
Yeah, very much so, very much so.
You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
Yeah, those last couple laps, the tyres were scorching hot. Yes, we did.
Great. Well, that's everything.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Daniel Ricciardo certainly impressed me today, an incredible performance.
Let's move on to the constructors. The current championship leaders still hold top spot, but that gap is getting smaller. Meanwhile, AlphaTauri's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. Well, Ants, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So, the Gasly wins. What a race from P14. Ricciardo from P20. That's insane. He could have won this race from nearly last to first here, but Hamilton, fast lap, only 7th for him. So, Vettel, good race for him. The only front runner to really maximise the race. And yeah, P5 and 8 for us in the end. If you guys are enjoying these, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and press notifications on. I'm going to try to get more of these out, more league racing, more my team. Anything else you guys want to see, comment in the comments below. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
Seen you out of your